Welcome back. Green flag just coming out here at the Rock. They spread out coming out of 4. A slow car working his way across the start-finish line just now, and a lot of cars had to spread out to avoid that.
The 18 of Billy Leslie has moved up into the 2nd position. That's him right there behind our leader, Joey Logano. Matt Carter looks to the inside of Ricky Stenhouse. That is a battle for 3rd.
So Carter looking to the inside of that 99 now, again for 3rd position. First 2 have checked out as they're entering turn 1 now. Looks like Ricky Stenhouse getting back up to speed, working his way through 1 and 2.
Jesse Smith in that 30 car has moved up into the 5th position.
Oh, smoke coming out of the 57. And that will bring out our second caution.
Some hammers ready. Some hammers ready.
Brent
Get that
Sherman
right
right there. Brent actually ran the Indy Light race last week at Kansas, finished in the 8th position, and then tested an Indy car on Monday at Kansas Speedway. But quite a bit of right front damage for Brent right here, and right rear.
Smoke rolling out from the right side of that car. Obviously, the right front is blown. And the bodywork getting torn up as he works his way around this racetrack, trying to get back onto pit road. That accident, I'm sure, a product of what took place the first time around when we went under caution.
So we can take a look. Look at the top of your screen. You see the smoke there trailing behind Brent Sherman.
So a lot of debris being spread around the rock right now.
Right rear is not on the tire. Getting ready to come around the bend. No, it's right front, all right front.
5, 4, 3, 2. There you go. Get it in here.
Yep, Brent Sherman's
Gotta give me
bringing it in. They're going to try to figure out what they can do to that car now. Again, the right front tire blowing out, doing a lot of damage to the front of that vehicle. So again, not one complete lap of racing since we went back to green after our first caution. Lucky dog goes to Michael Annett in the number 28. A big gift for that team, as Michael Annett will now get back on the lead lap or working closer to the lead lap.
Yeah, Michael was obviously one of our top 4 cars prior to that first incident coming off for turn number 2. Wendy, what's going on down there in Brent Sherman's pit?
Well, Brent Sherman's making his first start of 2008, started 26th, off to an unfortunate beginning for Brent Sherman. Now, I noticed the right front fender had a lot of damage on it. They were trying to get that fender pushed down. Now the right front tire that came off of it is completely shredded, so I didn't know what you guys saw on those replays, but some heavy damage to the tire and the wheel that came off of Brent Sherman's car. Jim?
Wendy, on my end of pit road, we had the 01 car coming in many times, as we talked about, Justin Marks, and also Patrick Shelter, who's climbed to 4th in the point standings. In this in-house built chassis, they had a very strong run in qualifying, but unfortunately he's been caught up in this. I believe he's been on pit road no less than 5 times. The biggest concern, damage on the left rear of his number 60 Chevrolet. The fuel inlet has dropped within the bodywork. They need to obviously pop that out to fuel the car. So that's what they've been working on, and just left pit road now, trying to get more bare bond and more big chunks of tape to get that opened up to repair the fender, as well as try to get the fuel opening back functioning.
So a lot of work being done on
Hey, we're just going to be smart in this traffic back here, Patrick, because, man, you got fast cars and slow cars. The slow cars are pushing all over the track, so we're going to have to be careful or run up on one of them real quick.
Words of wisdom there.
Awfully good advice right there. Had a few cars make their way down pit road on this caution flag. The 01 of Justin Marks was back in. Patrick Sheltra, the 19 of Jack Bailey, and the 11 of Brian Silas have all been on pit road.
Feel very, very early in this race, too, as we see a lot of cars with damage already on them. We want to take another look at what brought out our second caution. This is the restart. You see some of the debris on the racetrack as the cars all spread out 2 and 3 wide coming across the start-finish line.
Getting ready for a restart.
And Joey Logano has been out in front since the initial drop of the green flag.
Be heads up. There's some real race cars out there. Be heads up for any debris that's flying around.
Debris comment. We're hearing going to a lot of the drivers. Heads up. Again, 312 laps is the scheduled distance. We're just about to start lap 29 as we complete 28. Green flag back in the air.
All clear.
As Patrick Shelter, a spotter, told him, there's a lot of fast cars at the back as well as slower cars, so really have to be heads up in traffic here at Rockingham.
Good run there for Matt Carter, taking third away from Ricky Stenhouse Jr. It seems as though Ricky Stenhouse he gets up to speed a little bit slower than the rest of these guys, but once he's there, he runs a very consistent line and good lap times.
He really does. He was second last week at Kansas City for his best career finish, but Matt Carter has been extremely good here from the test early on a few weeks ago. Very good in practice. He's going to be somebody to contend with, I believe. There's Matt Carter right there in the Stein Seed Ford. You know, remember, this is the car that Frank Kimball drove to 9 ARCA RE championships.
You mentioned testing. Scott Speed was fastest in that test session that they had a couple weeks back. Mike Lynette was second. Justin Marks was third. Justin Allgaier fourth. And Joey Logano was actually the 5th quickest car in the test session, but it was so much cooler when they were here for that test.
Yeah, it really was. I talked to a lot of the crew chiefs in the garage area, and they said they had to completely change their setups from that test a few weeks ago with that cooler weather, because obviously this racetrack right here is very sensitive to temperature.
Battle for the 7th spot.
That's the 4 of Taylor Malsom. Our winner earlier this year, that 39 car right there.
Matt Hawkins.
Matt Hawkins did such a nice job to win that race at Iowa a couple weeks ago.
He's able to take the position away from Taylor Malsom. So 39 moving up toward the front. He started this race in 23rd position. Has already broken into the top 6 now. And he holds that position.
Matt's one of the join the list of guys that have won in this series in their very first ARCA RE start. Something Joey Logano is trying to do today.
Yeah, try to match that feat here at a very difficult racetrack, Rockingham Speedway.
There's Kenny Schrader. We're right on board with Kenny. The 4 Winds Motorhomes Dodge of Kenny Schrader trying to get by that 4 car of Taylor Malsom. That's a battle for the 7th position. Kenny's made a nice start here. Started way back in the 31st position.
Still there.
Kenny able to make that pass on Taylor Malsom to take over the 7th spot. Now this is a guy, we talk about nobody being here in the last 4 years. We talk about very few of these drivers having any experience at all at this racetrack. And that's a guy that has thousands of laps here at this racetrack.
You know what? I was making a comment earlier today. I said, you know, there's a lot of kids that are in this field that weren't even born the last time the ARCA RE Series ran here.
Yeah, exactly. That's 1973. So that's a full 35 years ago.
35 years ago. And when we talk about young guys, one of the young guys that we wanted to keep our eye on has been Austin Dillon. Take a look at this, Phil.
Looks like he must have a broken hub or something. I don't know what's wrong with that. That is really strange looking.
Looks like a spinner.
It does. And it's not supposed to.
Yeah. they don't have that.
What a promising career that young man's going to have. Just turned 18 a week or so ago. Austin Dillon, he won his Camping World East debut at Greenville a few weeks ago.
Grandson to Richard Childress.
Joey Logano able to get by Justin Marks. We saw the damage on that 0-1 car. He was involved in that incident off of turn number 2. He had one of the very best cars yesterday, so obviously that car crippled right now.
Joey Logano has led every lap here at the Rock since the green flag flew. looking to make it his first ever win in the ARCA RE Series in his first start. We'll find out if he'll be able to do it. We'll come back.
Well, I am excited to see something on the track. I've always loved Rockingham. It's such a great racetrack to race on because you can run on the bottom for a little bit, middle, 3 lanes up against the wall throughout the whole race. To me, it's just a great racetrack.
That is one of the coolest racetracks that there is in existence, and it's a shame that we don't race there anymore.
Got to drive for Bill Davis, there in my first test, and went there and loved it then, and always have. So it's a shame we're not racing there anymore, but I think it's great that a series like ARCA is going back there.
Racing at the Rock is back, and we heard from some of the stars in the Sprint Cup Series what an amazing racetrack this is, and these kids and veterans are able to enjoy it here in the ARCA RE Series.
Here's our leader right there, Joey Logano. Just while we were away at break, he had a bit of a close call. Watch him, that's the 22 of Ken Butler that all of a sudden just felt like he had something going wrong, and Joey Logano had to take evasive action, did a nice job turning hard left to avoid that. There's another view of it right there. Joey Logano is one of the guys that's awfully glad that there's racing back at the Rock.
Oh, yes. Joe Logano again was here for testing earlier, making his inaugural start in the ARCA RE Series today. Ken Butler III was the car that was just in front of Joey Logano, and it looked as though he was trying to make the hard left turn and get onto pit road, but then a couple of cars were going by him. Jim Treadle.
Hey guys, I'm down here at the 22 car. This is the reason why he came down pit road. Fender damage on the left front, popped the left front bead on the 22 of Ken Butler's car. So when he came down pit road, it was all the way off the bead, but they had front end damage from that first caution. They cut the left front tire. That's why he slowed in front of our leaders.
A lot of front end damage to that 22. Again, that's team car to the 2 of
trouble
Scott
over.
Speed. Problems in turn 3, up against the wall, a car. The 35, and the reaction to that is another one spins behind him.
I believe that was right in front of Joey Logano as well when the 35 of Ricky Sanders got up, and there's Gabby DiCarlo, the Great Clips Chevrolet. She came along and spun after that.
So Gabby DiCarlo trying to slow down, got turned around just a bit. Doesn't look like any damage to the car, though. I'm sure she'll have to come in and get a fresh set of tires, but we're about at that lap time when we would expect the whole field to come down to get tires.
Yeah, I think we're going to see everybody that hasn't stopped yet for sure to come down pit road and get tires. She's a lot of damage to Ricky Sanders' car right there. He may have put something down on the racetrack, and that may have been what happened to Gabby. She may have gotten some fluid or something from Ricky Sanders' car. That's what turned her around. But I believe this happened right in front of our leader, Joey Logano. So another anxious moment for him, certainly.
Yeah, he is. He's going to have to avoid quite a few things today if he wants to find victory lane here at Rockingham Speedway. Again, the 35 of Ricky Sanders gets turned around, spun in turn number 3, actually hitting the wall up in turn 3, and so you see all the right side damage to that race car.
Looks like they're going to take that car behind the wall. This will bring everybody to pit road. We've completed 49 laps, so this is right on schedule. If you can run about 50 laps on a set of tires,
if you could schedule it,
this is the one. This is the one you would want, exactly.
Being on schedule. Take another look at why we are under our 3rd caution of the day.
See, right in front of our leader, Joey Logano, the 25, Joey Logano, right behind Ricky Sanders. Another anxious moment for Joey Logano.
And all of the drivers, I think.
There's another view of it. That's after Ricky has already made contact with a wall. Gabby DiCarlo came in here just a few moments later and also spun. We have our leader on pit road.
Here comes Joey Logano. Let's go down to Jim Trado.
Guys, the call from Billy Leslie's team in the number 18 Titan Tire car was 4 tires, no changes. They've been monitoring their pace. They like what they have. They're going to do fresh rubber, fresh Hoosier radial tires. Next to them as they come down pit road, just in front of them is the 46 of the Stein-Steed Ford. Hard on the binders, actually clipping a crewman as he comes through. It's Matt Carter. Carter's got heavy left side damage with the earlier incident, but you know he's running top 3. The call here is also 4 tires and a small adjustment. We see 1.5 rounds out of the right rear to get that car freed up just a little bit. Both cans of fuel going in on Matt Carter's number 46 Ford, and the leaders now on pit road as well. They're going to make a drastic change on some of these cars, but none in the story of Leslie.
Get tired.
Leslie again, no changes, 46 a bit delayed, but down and away. Wendy?